I love in my heart, whatever, but whatever for that, y'all just arguing. But I had another thing, like I feel like everybody is conflicting, like the free will that God gave us in choice with him like knowing what's gonna happen and the future and all that. Like
now, what did she just describe in that statement? What did I tell y'all to look up?
Arminianism, Calvinism.
Arminianism versus Calvinism. That's the whole argument. It's an age-old argument in the church. Calvinists believe in divine election, predestination. Arminians believe that it's a free choice. Knowledge for knowledge. That's up to y'all to decide. That's why y'all got to decide.
That's like us, like, okay, God created. That's like us creating something. We have we have this. Okay, that's like I do like I do like us creating like a phone. Like they created a phone. Like create a phone. Use this. Use this to call people. To need more communication, whatever. We got one thing for it, and then we went off and did all this other things that they didn't really want to happen. Like all this other stuff. Like we got all types of crazy stuff going on with phones. And like bad things, like sexting, and all types of stuff. But it's like we created this thing for this one purpose, and it turned into other things that we probably thought that this could have happened or whatever, but we wanted it for this one general purpose. And and went off and did other things, but we knew that possibly could have happened, but we wanted it to just go in this one direction. Even though it went in the other direction, it might come back to this direction. But even though it went off the other direction, it's not like we're not going to create it just because of that. So is that like what you mean about me? Is that kind of like going towards like, okay, why did God still create all this stuff if we knew that it was going to happen? So
now that's a formidable answer that can deal with this issue, but you got to work on it.
What's she saying?
It's a choice.
What's she saying?
She's saying it's a choice, but she's saying, watch this, and this is what a lot of us blind our minds to, is that what if God's foreknowledge does not mean that he knew the choice?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Exactly.
Can I say no? That means they know it, right?
I'm going to read the scripture to you.
Wait, to say that. God is an author.
Watch this. I'm going to read the scripture to you.
Where is it at?
It's that same Jeremiah chapter 17, no?
Jeremiah.
God don't know that. How would he know me?
Wait a second, bro. Wait a second.
That's impossible. It's impossible for him not to know. The author, right?
Jeremiah 17. Look at verse 10. Jeremiah 17:10. Read it. Jeremiah 17:9-10. Read it and take it as it reads.
The heart is deceitful below all things, and desperately wicked. Who can know it? I, the Lord, search the heart. I test the mind, even to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his doing.
You tell me. What's the purpose of him testing the heart? Does it say that? Wait a second. Does it say that? Why don't have to?
Even to give every man.
Anything else is reading into it, right?
So that, no, look,
anything else is reading into it,
right?
right?
Test the mind. To give every man according to his ways.
Okay.
So he can give you
according to your ways, yeah. So he testing your heart. Wait a second. He testing your heart, and he telling. We read in that scripture saying. He testing your heart. He testing your mind, even to give to you according to your ways. Whoa. Okay, even calling it surface reading. Go in depth, but don't go away from what it says. Anything else is added to it.
Okay, we'll go to Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the thoughts that I think towards you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not evil, to give you a
hope and an expected end. He does.
So he already knows.
I know the thoughts I have towards you.
Okay.
Thoughts.
Okay.
Not what I'm making you do. Get what it's saying. Thoughts. Not what I'm making. Watch this. Jesus came into his own, but his own did not receive him. And according to that same Romans that we were just in, which deals with the argument of divine election, guess what happens? Because of their rejection, it opened the door to the Gentiles.
Jeremiah 29, verse 11.
Okay.
Look up. So what about?
This him, okay.
Hold on,
okay,
let me
this-
get Karen first. Go ahead. She out there right over the page.
Bro, you right here.
Okay, here's the thing. Okay, saying that him like foreknowing, that doesn't exactly mean like, okay, yeah, he knows the future, but it's one thing that could change the future. And he could also see that coming, you know, like, okay, say like, okay, I'm gonna walk, say like, okay, you know, I'm gonna walk out that door and go straight down the hall. But it could be one thing that could distract me from that, but he don't like, okay, it's not saying that he don't know, okay, but something just like, because like we have free choice, so something could just come and distract me from that, and then he'll see the next future I have. Like I might not walk out that door anymore. I'll stay in here and walk over there. You know what I'm saying? So saying him for knowing doesn't mean that the future's gonna stay the same. Like you know this future and it's gonna stay like that, and I know what's gonna happen. So it's like saying that he knew that that Eve and Adam were gonna eat the apple. What if that wasn't the future that they were gonna eat the apple, and that just happened then? You know, after he created them, that was the future when he created them. But then after he created them, that happened. Another future came into play. You know what I'm
That don't
saying?
make sense though. That's like he thought. He thought, but he didn't know.
No, it's not he thought. I'm saying say he created Adam and Eve, and he planned one future for them. You know, not thinking about them eating apple and the same, whatever. So after all that, after he created them, that came into play, and a new future arose, and he's seen that. You know what I'm saying?
But this is what I'm saying. The Lamb was slain before the foundation of the world, so he already knew. He had to already know.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to tell you what's going to be the problem with that.
Because the man saying that. Wait, what about in Jeremiah 1:25? He said, "For I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I sanctified you. I ordained you a prophet to the nation." So before he was even born, he knew, like, look, you're going to be a prophet no matter what you want.
Wow. Okay. So now appropriate that to that same thing about Jacob, I love you, so I hate you.
I still, like, I'm saying so.
Jeremiah didn't want that for his life. Read his story.
I understand.
Yeah, but what did he say? He said, I knew you before you were formed in your mother's womb. I ordained you.
How do you figure that Jeremiah didn't want it?
Jeremiah didn't want that. That's what I just said. Jeremiah didn't want the call.
He said, behold, I cannot speak for I am
He didn't want the call. Read his story. He ran from it. Even much so as when they was persecuting. Come on, brother.
But but it's not that Jeremiah didn't really
He didn't want it. He was a kid. Jeremiah was a kid when God called him.
Because of what people were
He
doing.
was still refusing to accept the fact he didn't want it regardless if he was conditioned or not. Go there real quick. Kayla, what you got? Because we got to get ready to go. At least maybe.
To piggyback on what she said.
All right, watch this, y'all. Watch this.
Like like God has he doesn't have a set future, but it can actually have different routes to it. Like what I said earlier in another Bible study, like an example would be your choose your fate book, how they have multiple endings and different routes you can choose, but there's one main ending, but there are multiple alternate endings. Some of them can lead to that ending, but they can have offshoots of even that ending, to where someone can get a better ending or a bad ending.
Now, here's the problem with that. In Isaiah, God said, I knew the end of your days at the very beginning. So that would be a problem with that.
So, alright, Ephesians 1:4-5 says, "Just as he told us in him before the foundation of the world, that we should be holy and without blame before him in love, having predestined us to adoption as sons by Jesus Christ himself according to the new covenant of his will."
And guess what? You just chose a scripture reference that deals with divine election. That's one of those scriptures. So that's what you for?
Yes,
So that means you're not with foreknowledge.
How? If he's predestined, I mean he already knew.
Predestination means just that it was written, the story was written by him. Period.
But that's the look.
That's the same thing as the
You
mind.
gotta look though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
That's why I said that's what you believe in.
Yeah.
So you're not with foreknowledge.
I'm not understanding.
That's why I told you to read.
Did you find the difference between predestination and foreknowledge?
Foreknowledge says, I knew your choice ahead of time, so that's why this happened. Predestination says, regardless of your choice, this is what happened. It was already written.
Because that's like if somebody.
That is what it is.
That's like if somebody was like on a bad streak and then they get their life over to God. Oh, is he still going to hell?
Wait a second. The reason why divine election is predestination, look it up. Why do you think I told y'all to read the argument about Calvinism versus Arminianism? A Calvinist is a person that believes once saved, always saved. That's predestination. That's why.
That's wrong.
Listen, wait a second. That's what you say. But you got to defend their arguments. No, you got. I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm just saying you got to defend their arguments. You got to go. I mean, not defend it, but you got to refute their arguments. You got to refute it because here's what they say. They say no one can pluck you out of the hand of the Lord. This is what they say. That's the ultimate argument we use, right? That's the ultimate argument we use. But then they'll come back and say they went out from us, but they never was of us. Because had they been of us, they would have never left us. They would have never went out from us. Wait a second. They telling you that if you say I chose to leave, then they say you never was one. You say, but I said, watch this. You say I said that Jesus is Lord. They'll say, Matthew chapter 7, verse 21, many will come in that day saying, Lord, Lord, have I not prophesied in your name? Have I not cast out demons in your name? And I'll say, get away from me, you workers of iniquity. Watch this. I never knew you. That means past, present, or future. It's arguments from both sides. You got to be able to defend it.
But Jesus said it like this. I'm going to just say this.
Come on with it. I know how to argue both sides.
Now, you go to 9:62, Jesus also speaks about no one having put his, Luke 9:62. No one having put his hand to the plow and looking back is fit for the kingdom of God.
What that mean?
Because that means that there are people who started out doing it.
That ain't what that argument is.
What I'm saying is, there are
That
people
ain't
who
even to that.
That's what I'm saying. Hold on, this is what I'm saying. What you mean I said out of order?
That is. That ain't got nothing to do with salvation.
No one having put his hand to the plow.
Read the whole context.
Read the whole.
What is it talking about?
Talking about the discipleship. When Jesus was
The cost of discipleship.
Okay.
Right?
But it's still saying, no one having put his hand to the plow.
What is
meaning
the
you're working.
Okay.
Right?
So that's what he's saying. Working has anything to do with salvation?
No.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying, but it do. But it also do though.
What part of salvation?
Okay, really, that's what I'm saying. Because you gotta be a
Ephesians
doer.
chapter 2, verse 8, brother. For it is by grace you have been saved through faith, not of yourselves, it is a gift of God, not of works, lest any man should boast. So you have to deal with that.
If you don't believe, you're gonna work.
What you mean? That, hey, so what you going to?
Faith without works is dead.
So you going to James chapter 1,
Faith without works
right?
is dead,
Faith
right?
without works is dead.
Right.
Watch this, because watch this, you'll know a tree by the fruit it produce, right? But then at the same token, you got people that have produced fruit, but they never was of us. That's verse 21. Lord, Lord, have I not cast out demons in your name? Have I not prophesied in your name? Yet I say to you, get away from me, you workers of iniquity. I never knew you. What you mean they look back? You just said the fruit produced. They produced fruit in his name.
All right, so
They produced fruit in his name. I never knew you.
Let me ask you this.
It ain't as simple as you think, bro.
What you mean?
What you mean what I mean?
I'm telling you about this though.
Bro, real talk. I'm gonna be real with y'all. I could bring somebody in here right now. Listen, watch this. I could bring somebody in here right now that's a predestinationist and let them loose on you and let you refute anything they have to say. I guarantee you.
Please, bring the next clues in.
Bro, you can't even answer. Y'all not even answering what I'm sharing with you.
Just
Go ahead.
Okay. You sure?
Honestly, no, because it's 8:20. It's 8:20. Here's what I'm gonna get to y'all. Alright? As we started off, y'all asked some questions, got us off track. Next week, prepare your hearts before you come in. Because 6:30, no later, we at it. Now, this is the homework assignment. You tell everybody that want to be involved in this. See, this, here's the problem. Unless you do what I tell you to do and